Here we go. That just
Yeah.
it didn't even give me a countdown.
Yeah, yo, I forgot about that little IG.
I didn't. I know about it, but normally it comes up as a countdown. Anyway, the first one is saved. So yes is the answer to your question.
Ooh,
and it's already up there.
There's some nuggets. There's some nuggets in that.
There is some great nuggets in there. And I noticed that while you were talking towards the end there as well, Stanley Randolph came in the house. So there was a few, but yeah, and it just went boom.
Dang, it was getting
now,
there.
where were we? I've just forgotten where we were at the end now.
We're talking about
the record company. Setting up the record company.
Yeah. So the Ruzik Record's been around, like I said, it's been around for since MySpace or before then. I've been branding my logo, which is the record, and my face in the middle for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I finally LLC'd it. You know, I had some business people at the time, and they, you know, it's legally.
Okay, just finding it again. Wi-Fi is picking up. Yep.
I'm waiting till my end. I'm on. Back.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay, you're back.
I'm ready to like just turn my. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm wondering, should I turn my phone off and turn it back on?
Okay, at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So the Ruzik Record's been around, and Ruzik is like Daru. I just took the R off the M instead of music. Ruzik. You know what I'm saying? So it just Ruzik is like my style of production, which I made a slang called soul hop. Soul hop, which is a combination of soul music and hip hop together, because I want the stuff that I produce to still have that same aggression as a hardcore '90s. You know what I'm saying? But then I will produce soulful singers, soul artists. You know what I'm saying? Because of sometimes when you're working with rappers, it depends on what you're doing. They may be, you know, using profanity, or they may not be talking things that may be too edifying. It's like, let me just produce soul singers, and I put out a project with my sister. Her name is Rena, so you can look it up, Daru and Rena. We have several projects out. We have our latest project out that we put. It's been a minute, but I actually put it out through Ruzik Records. It's called Honey. You know what I'm saying? And that project is crazy because I actually did it, and I did it all on the computer. It's the first project that I did all using computer. I won't talk about the program that I used, but it was all on the computer. Wow. Prior to, my old projects, I was using the sampler. I had like the 303 Boss and, you know, the S900, you know, all of the old school stuff. But yeah, so that particular project, the Honey project, it has more of a polished. It's all keys. Everything is all from the computer. It's all live. No samples at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Ruzik Records been around. It's been around for a minute. Around for a minute. Yep.
Okay. So I've tackled some of the questions that people have sent in. Unfortunately, I haven't tagged all their names in, but I'm going to give a few shout outs.
Okay.
So one person that's been in here all the way from the beginning is Kit Kat. Okay, and they want to know who you would most like to work with.
Oh, Michael.
I knew you were going to say it. I think we've all talked about that.
Yo, I see my homie Jasmine just tuned in. Oh, I think I know Kit Kat. She's from Vancouver.
There you go. Well, she said that question, and I felt like I wanted to answer the question for you, but I was like, no, let him do it. Yeah,
no, okay. The artist, okay. D'Angelo, of course, and I almost was supposed to tour with him a couple times, but that's another story. Still want to work with him. Beyonce, Sting. Okay. I love the Police. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stuart Copeland, one of my favorite drummers. Who else? Dang, Jay-Z.
Okay.
Bob James.
Real mixture.
Yeah. You got to get it in. You know, I'm about that genre bending life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be boxed in.
Okay.
But yeah, those are a few that I can think of. Right. Oh, Stevie Wonder.
Okay. So but I'm gonna condense a lot of questions into the last question. Okay. Yep. And obviously everyone asks about your setup. And you've discussed it in a little way at the beginning when you said that, you know, you saw Vinny and Weckel and all these different drummers have got their setups. And I remember to be in Paris when we were all sitting around eating one evening, we were discussing about Dennis Chambers. And it's the sort of stuff that we all talk about. So quite a lot of people have come in and said about the setup. Okay. But I want to add to that. Not only do I would like you to tell people about how you came with that setup, but also I want you to tell people why you think it's important that you have an original setup and an original look.
Those are good questions. All right. So I'm going to try to keep these short, but basically, I switched my setup when I graduated from fusion to hip hop. I started being a hip hop drummer mid 2000s for over 10 years, playing with all the different artists, you know, from Pharoah Monch, you know, now Pete Rock. But anyway, just the mentality of growing up in the hip hop community, there's this thing in the terminology, they say biting, which means it's copying, but like don't bite off me, which means don't copy off me. So just that mentality coming up. I remember as a kid when I was getting into hip hop, I remember seeing like if a rapper had on the same outfit or the same necklace or whatever, they had problems.
Yeah.
Because people wanted to have the identity. It was like, yo, I don't want you sounding like me. You know what I'm saying? Like that was serious. That was serious. So with that in mind, I remember seeing Questlove, Amir, and when I transitioned from fusion, you know, in gospel to hip hop, you know, I downsized my kit obviously because I didn't need all the times because it wasn't that many notes, you know what I'm saying, that I needed to play for the type of hip hop that I want to do. Now I know there's drummers out there that play hip hop and they have the fullness thereof, but for the stuff that what I want to do and for what I'm seeing, I remember seeing Questlove and he just had a snare drum in the floor tom. I'm like, yo, what's that? So my head was cracked. I was like, yo, I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. And he was funky. And I was like, okay, so that inspired me. That's one of the things that inspired me to downsize my kit because of the stuff that I was playing. And also I had a small car and I was doing sometimes 2 or 3 gigs at night.
Yeah, living in New York, that's, you have to.
Man, so I actually, I was in the Midwest during that time, but I had a small car and I was like, you know, transporting my get, you know, drummers, we didn't have drum techs back then. You had to, you know, set up, play, and then break down. So my challenge was trying to figure out how to do, because sometimes I will be playing like a fusion style gigs. I had to figure out how can I play these 5, you know, piece drum kits with minimal pieces, right? That was a challenge. But anyway, basically, to answer the question, when I seen Amir Questlove had the you know, I was like, that's dope. So I was like, all right, that inspired me. But just with the mentality of coming into the hip hop community, I don't want to just be a carbon copy. So I was like, how can I do that and make it my own? So I play the traditional grip. As y'all know, this is match grip. When you play, just in case we don't have drums on here, this is match grip because it's, you know, the same grip on both hands. Traditional is this, you know, where you have the grips a little bit different. So I was already doing the snare drum. I tilted it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like the classic marching band vibe. And you watch Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich, all those cats, you know, they had the tilted drums. So I was already tilting the snare drum. And then one day when I woke up, I was like, man, what happened if I tilt the floor tom? So basically it was all for looks. I just wanted my drum kit to look different, you know? And that was the whole reason. It wasn't no type of like scientific, oh, okay, it's going to make me play better. But just the way that I want to have, you know, be different. I didn't want my kid to look like a Questlove's kid. You know what I'm saying? So I tilt the drums and then I sit up really high because I like to dominate, come down on the drums. And then I just kept expanding and adding to finally get to where I'm at this day, which I have a similar setup, but it's a little bit newer. But I just think it's very important, you know, like I said earlier, when you're a child, you do childish things. You know what I'm saying? You want to just do everything you see, copy, you know what I'm saying? But then when you grow up, you become a man. You come in adulthood, you start paying bills, you start living on your own. You know what I'm saying? You come into your own identity. So I knew eventually in my career, from the people that I saw and idolized, I know that, like, even watching Vinny, you could tell that he was influenced by Tony Williams. But I remember reading an article on I don't know if it was a Vinny interview, but they always talked about when you find a drummer that you like, it's very important to go see who they were.
Know the history.
The history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what I liked about, and I like Vinny and other cats, they always pay homage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
A
lot of the new guys don't do that. No.
Yo, like, how dare you come and nick the swag jack, and then you want to make it, you know what I'm saying? But of course, there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you listen to Elvin Jones, they play all over the bar line.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was still in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been done, but you know, how can you? So I was just trying to figure out how could I take that simple kit and make it into my own. I kept expanding, and I think it's very important if you want to separate yourself, because as you know, the drummer community is oversaturated. So many of them out there. You go to every city and you can find, you know, I don't even want to say the terminology, but they coined it gospel chops, which is cool. I don't knock it.
Yeah.
But you know, I just remember seeing like Dennis Chambers had a lot of chops, but he had pocket too. You know what I'm saying? Dennis would pocket your head off, but it was a placement. That's what impressed me. He knew when to bring it in, and then he knew when to bring it back to that pocket. So I just I went on a tangent, then lost where I was trying to go with this. But basically, I just think it's important. Find a lane that you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So I found the lane that I wanted to be in, and when I made my evolution to come this hip hop drummer, I was like, I wanted. What I did was I was able to build a reputation of people was like, yo, hire Daru because he's going to learn the song just like the record. And I think it's very important when you get jobs to always know what your boss want. Every boss don't want the same thing. Your boss may not want you to play like the record. He may want you to, you know, improvise and play something different. But for me, that's the lane that I want to be in, and it's been successful for me. And I think it's very important when you find your heroes. Like what I did when I came up, when I went to the drum stores and they came out with like, I think Vic Firth was a popular drumstick at the time, and they came up with all those signature sticks. They had the Steve Gadd model, all the heroes. And so instead of me being like, okay, boom, I like Dave Rucker, so I'm just going to use his sticks. Nah, I tried all the sticks and I found the stick that worked for my body type. Because as y'all know, we're all built differently. Yeah. You know, if you're playing with a stick that's too big, you're going to be fighting yourself the entire time. So I think it's very important as drummers, we want to keep the drum stores alive, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we know that things are differently. They're selling things online, but the mom and pop stores, we want to continue to support them. But it's important you don't have to just do everything because your hero is doing it. You can get their signature, whatever, and mix it up. Yeah. All the different drum head combinations, they got all these. They have like Bremo. It's not. They don't just make one drum head. They make the fiber skin. It's so many combinations, and you can just there's so many different ways. So many things that haven't even been touched on because everybody's so stuck on seeing what works for you, and they just want to do that. A lot of people. I mean, it's not a lot of people, but the OGs like yourself that understand that the importance of getting your sound. It's just we need more. We need more of that because everything just sounding like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It gets boring.
Yeah, but, listen, you're totally correct, and you have got a great individual sound. Obviously, every time I've done any events or been around your drum kit when there's been other drummers, everybody's taking photos of your drum kit. They're like, wow, has someone set that up or what's happening? And
I'm getting it's a lot of people that criticize too because it's all good, you know, because they don't understand. But
you know why they're criticizing, Daru? You know why they're criticizing? Because you haven't got your Pearl 3-inch free floater. See, that's what's going on, man.
Son, that's hilarious.
Back to the beginning.
Oh, that is company infringement. You're gonna get me in trouble with DW.
No.
No, you're right. That's hilarious. No, I'm just kidding. That's funny.
I know.
That's funny, but yeah, that's right. It's just like that's hilarious. I had to pause. That's so funny.
Listen, seriously, thank you so much for your time tonight and spending some time with us. You know, I love being in your company.
Appreciate you, bro.
The dinner we had like I said, in Paris with all the drummers sitting around. Mainly talking about Dennis Chambers stories, actually, which were pretty cool.
Oh, my God.
Were great. So thanks for being a guest. Thank you for being you. We will all hang out again soon.
I'm looking forward.
So keep doing what you're doing. Ah, sorry. This guy keeps asking about Rough Pack. He keeps asking. Before
we get to that, I just want to shout out brother Michael. Check him out. You know what I'm saying? This guy, this is the guy. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you go somewhere and you see he's going to be sorting you out, you're going to be in good hands. He's going to make sure you're taken care of. You know what I'm saying? They were very hospitable. I just want to thank them for bringing me over for the bag show. I hope they bring me over again. I just want to shout out everybody that tuned in. Also continue to check out whoever Michael's interviewing, the next people that's coming in, and also the prior streams. Also want to shout out my brands that I play. I play DW, I'm a DW and PDP artist. I have a signature kit with DW, PDP called the Daru Jones New Yorker. Also shout out to Peisty Symbols. I'm a Peisty artist, and I have a set with them, a symbol set with them, PSTX DJs 45s. Also want to shout out Head Drumsticks. You know what I'm saying? We got the signature Daru Jones Leo sticks popping. Also,
looking good, those do. They look great.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the vibe, we just wanted to kind of have something to match the drum kit with the gold and black fade. And as y'all don't know, these sticks last 5 times longer than a wooden stick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but shout out to Solomon Design, Solomon Mics. They make the sub microphone. I have something with them as well. A couple models. Shout out to Remo. I just came on board with Remo last year. Shout out to Chris and Roger, the whole Remo team, and also shout out to Latin Percussion. So I just want to give a shout out to those, and also talk about stay tuned for projects that's coming out real soon. I'm giving you all exclusive right now. I actually got a project dropping in like a week with a friend of mine. His name is Bobby J from Rockaway. Amazing lyricist. This was supposed to be like a surprise project, but it's coming out in a week through Fat Beats label. It's called One Mic and One Drum. It's just all drums and vocals, raps. It's coming out on the 17th through Fat Beats. Look out for that. Shout out to Bobby J from Rockaway, amazing lyricist. Also look out for a band project called 13, the number 13, and that's with myself, Pharaoh Munch, the rapper from New York, and Marcus Machado, guitarist from New York. We have a trio project called 13. Look out for that later on this year. We put out a single produced by Knots some months back. Also look out for DMD The Vibes.
Whoa, you keep busy.
Man, gotta keep the lights on. But that's a project I have with Doug Wimbish from Living Color, the bass player.
Wow.
You have to Living Color?
Yeah.
So Doug Wimbish, he's a part of that trio. It's DMD The Vibes, myself, Marcus Machado, and Doug Wimbish. Look out for we have something coming hopefully soon. A lot of things got switched around because of the pandemic and labels. Everybody's trying to figure out how to put their music out, and then we were all dealing with all the race, all the stuff that's going on. So just been trying to even it out. But look out for that. Also, I think one more project I can talk about is Pete Rock Project. Instrumentals 3 coming out, and he basically got the live band to play all the samples live. That's coming really soon. I think they're working out the single and all that. And also, Glenn just chimed in.
Glenn was my guest a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, shout out to brother Glenn. I love that brother, man. Oh, and one more project I want to mention is a project I have with Mark Knox Jones. Marcus from the Bay. He lives in LA right now. We have a project. Marcus really dope vocalist, R&B. It's like a soul project with hip hop called Knox Jones. Look out for that. That's it for right now that I can talk about.
Now, there is one gentleman that keeps asking you the same question though. He wants to know about Rough Pack.
Okay. All right. It's the final question. So basically I played in this group called the Rough Pack.
Yeah.
The other 2 members, they're from Vienna. And I think I can't remember when I think I joined that band in like maybe 2009. We put out a couple things. As all groups, when you have groups, sometimes everybody don't always get along, and some things, business things happen. But we actually took a break and parted ways, But we have a lot of music that's been recorded. It's a project that we recorded that I really hope that we can really get come together, because it's a project we did in tribute to Theonis Monk. It's done. It's mixed and mastered, and it's an amazing project. It's probably one of my best projects that I've done in my career that y'all
wow
can't even hear right now because of whatever. Right. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? We basically took one of the members took all some of Monk's arrangements, and we made it into hip hop. It's so killing. It's so dope. Like I hope that we can put that out. But yeah, I'm not working with those guys right now. I think they moved on. I think they bringing in other guys to fill in the gaps. But you know, shout out to those members. They doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? We all doing our thing. No bad blood. You know what I'm saying? I wish them all the best. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. You know what I'm saying? But I understand when you have relationships, you have your business, you have your friendships.
Yeah.
So, you know, regardless if I'm still working with people, I still want to keep the friendship, you know, still keep that cool. And hopefully maybe, you know, at another point we'll come together and yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Right. Listen, thank you so much for your time. You know, we were going to do 30 minutes, and I think we've done about an hour and 20 minutes.
You did like a 2 hours.
Yeah, listen. So thank you. I'm looking forward to when we can all be hanging out together again, sitting around, eating dinner,
yes,
telling stories and supporting everybody. So
yes,
thank you. Look after yourself. Stay safe and keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate you, brother. You too. Much love.
You.
Be safe, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you very much. Good night.
All right. Good night. Peace.
So there you go. Thank you for sticking with us. I know we went down a few times, but there's 2 chats up there, obviously. So go back and check out the first one. That was going to be a 30-minute chat tonight because Dario had a lot of other stuff going on. But as you just found out, it's about an hour and 20 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's it for this week. We start all over again next week, week 17. Chat number 57. Guests are in place for next week. So come along and join us next week. Have a really good weekend. Be nice to everybody. Look after each other. Be considerate to each other. You know where you can find me. Find me here. You can DM me. Let people know what we're trying to do here. And stay safe. Good night.